All right, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakah. Double honors be unto the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, abroad, living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, wherever they may be. Just the Aki and Maha lawyer, coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. Just give you an update.
Out of those exploding wildfires in the Pacific Northwest, or
Slakia. Give you an update on current events, and to just let you brothers know what's going on in the world due to the scriptures, and filter these things through the scriptures, because the scriptures say that we're supposed to warn the world and go into the prophecies of the Bible. All right, and it's been a lot going on in the news, man. I mean, you can't begin to cover every topic because there's just so much going on. But what thing that captivated my interest was I was looking at some pictures last night that brothers be sending out from time to time, and I actually seen one of this red sky due to these wildfires in Oregon, and people were taking pictures of this blood red, almost reddish orange hue in the sky due to the wildfires, man. When I say that look apocalyptic, and that looks very eerie, and you can tell you see death and destruction in the air. These are the signs that Yahweh Shai told us that was going to befall the earth before he was going to proceed his second coming. So we're seeing the prophecies play out in full throttle like this right here. This is a perfect depiction of what it is looking like out there in Oregon, all right? And that's very horrific, man, because, hey, people know that there's something going on in the world. Like, this is just not natural, So we're here to tell you, and we're here to warn you of these things to come, and pretty much to let you know that these things are going to intensify. Why? Because, hey, they're written in the scriptures ultimately, all right? So this is a news clip I was going to play, which actually played by itself accidentally. Then this is an article, and I want to broadcast a few more photos just to get you brothers out there familiar with what's going on and what's happening in the world, so therefore you can prepare your minds, your spirits, and whatever you need to do to get in the good graces of Yahweh Shai, because this is going to be the new norm in the times we're living in. So without further delay, here we go.
Oregon's governor describes the conditions in her state as a once-in-a-generation firestorm. We're talking about 50-mile-an-hour gusts that are blasting flames across acres of dry timber. Nearly 100 major fires are raging in almost a dozen western states. Entire towns have been wiped out in Oregon and Washington, and across the region, mass evacuations are underway, and skies are eerily discolored from smoke and ash. CBS's Lilia Luciano reports tonight from Phoenix, Oregon.
This is insane.
Unrelenting fires continuing to rage throughout Oregon, fueled by fierce winds not seen in a generation. 5 communities leveled by fires.
This could be the greatest loss of human lives and property due to wildfire in our state's history.
Nearly 36 wildfires so widespread they can be seen from space. The fire is moving so fast that some, like Adama Dai, had no way out except to drive through flames.
It was pretty terrifying. Just the adrenaline was keeping us going.
Parts of California remain under an ominous orange glow. This is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco Airport in darkness at noon. As wildfires in the state continue to rage out of control, including this one looming in the foothills east of Los Angeles. In Washington, these were the images from the community of Malden just after flames raced through. Today, state officials toured the destruction. The clearing skies reveal almost nothing left standing. Back in Oregon, the destruction includes a nursing home in the devastated town of Phoenix, where 89-year-old Beth Hill barely escaped, leaving behind a lifetime of memories.
Everything I own, all my pictures of my husband and me.
Tonight, Washington State had its first reported fatality from a fire, and we're also learning that a 12-year-old...
All right, so the Lord is really jacking this place up, but there's just a few things I have an issue with. Is the fact that, if this is, like, me personally, I believe, which is not about my personal feelings, but I believe these are the chariots igniting these fires. And then part of me believe that this is man-made, because if you pay attention, to whether this is a real backdrop or not. You see the trees are still intact, but yet all the structures are damaged. My thing is, if it's raging out of control, which in some cases it is because they got footage of it, then all these things should be burned down. So that's when I kind of put the question mark up and see what Esau's behind. But nonetheless, man, they showed you the Golden Gate Bridge, which is very looked very ominous, you know, looks very kooky or eerie, so to speak. It's a type of ominous. You could tell there's a spirit behind this particular thing, and we know that this is the left hand side of the Most High that's really at work, you know. And hey, what is it called? The Golden Gate Bridge. That's a particular a mighty land point or landmark, and a highly known land and a respected landmark in America. Okay, so hey man, call Allah Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, man. These things are intensifying. Hey, half the West Coast is on fire right now, you know. So it says here, record-breaking wildfires in the western U.S. have turned skies shockingly shades of bright red. And I'm going to go through more pictures too. But bright red and orange this week, thanks to the relentless and unprecedented fire seasons across multiple states. But it says social media users are sharing apocalyptic photos and of videos, the hazy sky, comparing it to the planet Mars in the film Blade Runner 2049. And the show Stranger Things and Avatar The Last Airbender. And they show you in these particular shows and movies, they have what they call predictive programming. Okay, they show it right to you face value, and then all of a sudden it comes to pass because it's predictive programming. Same thing in The Simpsons, how they had the whole thing about Trump winning president, and they had him walking down the same escalator 15 years before he actually was nominated and declared president of the United States. That's predictive programming. It ain't the fact that The Simpsons predicted it like they were prophets. No, it was already in the configuration of the Masonic oath. All right, they knew about these things, and it's the elite's agenda to bring these things to pass. Okay, but it says here, parts of the Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah are currently under critical elevated risk of fire, according to the National Service. It says the air quality in some regions has reached hazardous levels, and tens of thousands of firefighters are battling day and night to contain the thousands of fires which are exacerbated due to climate change. Which, no, you control the weather, okay, through something which is called HARP. All right, so don't let Esau get you with this global warming crap. All right, Esau controls the narrative. He controls the weather. All right, if you know something which is called HARP, it's basically like a military weaponized program that controls the weather. All right, it's basically a weapon. You know, they can cause it to snow in certain regions that don't receive snow. That's why, wait, it's September, and yet out there in Colorado, you had freaking snow that hit the ground yesterday, and people were literally sliding all over the highway. You know what I'm saying? And we in the summer season, you know, it was pretty much 100 degrees last week. But you mean to tell me in Colorado, just a day of cold temperatures of 40, 50 degrees, you telling me that's cold enough to make snow stick on the ground that's been over 100 degrees for months? I refuse to believe that. That's how I know that this is being controlled. All right? Like the scriptures say, that thou art wiser than Daniel. But anyway, it says here, Oregon Governor Kate Brown declared the wildfire emergency. It says on Tuesday and ordered evacuations throughout the state. But most Californians remain under red flag warning as the state surpassed its wildfire record. But Washington Governor Jay Inslee said this week that more acres burnt on Labor Day than in 12 of the last entire fire seasons in the state of Washington. So just in one day, these things were like literally intensified out of 12 particular seasons, man. 12 years. But it says, but according to NASA, the color changing skies are a result of smoke particles which block certain wavelength colors from the sun. All right, and this is a particular. It says Oregon wildfires making it look straight apocalyptic. And that does. That's eerie. You got a red sky. You can't tell if it's night or day. You know, that's like some purge type stuff, man. That's crazy, man. Hey, the scriptures say that we was going to see these things. You know, as a matter of fact, let me get this in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, 1st verse. Brothers, because, hey, we're in them times, man. If you can't see it here, then, hey, the spirit is not supping with you. But this is 2nd Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the part signs pass, which I have told thee before. This is called measurement of time, when you're filtering these current events through the scriptures, through the prophecies, through the prophetic events. This is measurement of time, all right? Because, hey, brothers been posting this stuff on YouTube and through group meets all throughout the country. You know, brothers like, wow. You know, and just Saturday, if you looked up in the sky, you know, people called it Mars, which was next to the moon. Some brothers thought it was a chariot. But either way it go, Mars represents war. All right. And we're in a season of war. This is war being declared. And on top of that, we're in the season of them demonizing the Hebrew Israelites too, because they got this movie Asher that I believe they put back in production, which is called St. Paul. And I actually did a lesson on that last year sometime. I was trying to find it and re-upload it. But there's so many videos in the archives, I can't seem to pinpoint it, But Lord's will, I, tamper on that a little bit too, because the brother Kazak went into it about how, you're going to have these agent provocateurs that's going to infiltrate the camps to help Esau further demonize this truth. So, Lord's will, I'll get into that before the day is over with too, to let you brothers know what's going on with that. But anyway, it shows you that this is part of measuring the time. And it says here, then thou shalt understand that this is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit a world which he made, okay? And you can tell this is an act of who they call God. All right, look at that. That's terrifying, Only thing you need to hear is the purge horn, and then, hey, all bets are off. But it says the smoke particles from the fires allow sunlight's longer wavelength colors like red and orange to set. It says red like orange to get through while blocking the shorter wavelengths of yellow and blue and green, NASA said. It says those longer wavelengths give the sky a red or orange tinted appearance. But similarly, during sunrise and sunset times, when the sun is near the horizon, sunlight has to travel through more of the Earth's atmosphere to get to you. And in addition, atmosphere filters out the shorter wavelengths and allow the longer wavelengths to get through, providing red and oranges during those times. Okay, but it says what determines the colors of the sky is the way our eyes receive light which travels from the sun through the atmosphere, added CBS News meteorologist and climate specialist Jeff Baradelli. It says when all light easily passes through a clear atmosphere, then all colors which make up the spectrum are detected by your eyes as white light. But however, when light passes through the greater amount of atmosphere, especially at sunrise or sunset, it runs a greater chance of being scattered before reaching your eye. Look, Esau come with his pseudoscience madness, man. He always got an explanation for something. That don't even make sense, okay? This is just an ominous tent to show you that death and destruction is in the air. And if this don't look like death to you, then I don't know. You can choose to listen to all this scientific psychobabble. That ain't what the scriptures are saying, all right? So it says California wildfires. Deadly wildfires tear through western states. Wildfires and weather extremes is not coincidence, it's climate change, which is not, okay? This is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. You devils, you deal with climate change because you're ultimately behind it. But it says California wildfires burn 2.2 million acres, more than any year on record. And you notice that these things are intensifying more and more every year. Like we thought 2017 and 2018 topped the world on wildfires for the western coast of the United States, and this year alone, within a matter of days and a month, toppled that in a 12-year span, man. Okay, so it says here, when smoke is thick, it scatters so much light that the whole sky appears orange, even during midday, the same as the horizon at sunset. Okay, and these are all the statistics here. Wow. The Esau Edom, man, he's finished. This man's kingdom is burning. The Lord is burning it down to the ground. But anyway, it says here, when therefore should be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, the prophets foretold this. Okay, we're telling this now. We're telling you that to get ready, get your minds right. Because Yahweh Shai, he's not finna let up no more. He's not finna prolong the judgment. Okay, he's already done spared America beyond grace for several years now. Like the brother Malcolm, Elder Malcolm always say, I thought this was gonna come a lot sooner. We all did. I remember getting back in the truth in 2011. And I was brothers were saying like the end was gonna come by 2012. And we was hoping, we was hastening that day. When brothers first come in this thing, they hoping that the end is gonna come immediately. But hey, it don't work like that all the time. It's been 9.5 years since I've been in this truth. And now look at it. It's at the cusp of its end. And I pray to Yahweh Shai that this year be it, man. Because look at Agenda 21. Hey, COVID-19, this was supposed to transpire last year, but hey, they was off track. They had to speed it up. That's why they're rolling all these different phases into play to catch up. Because Agenda 21, you got people, I want it to be normal again. It's going to look, man, the only normal you're going to get is a microchip and a vaccination. That's going to be your way of new normal. Because even then, when they administer these particular antidotes, they ain't going to go back normal because they're going to keep coming up with excuses as to why they can't. for you Jakes out there that seem to be, high off the Babylonian Kool-Aid, man. All right, it ain't gonna be no new normal. 2021, that's if we make it out this year, which is possible we can, because, the prophecies got to all take place over a course of time. But nonetheless, man, 2021 may be even worse. Like, it ain't gonna go back to normal. More draconian laws, more, legislation that's gonna be passed to put you people further in slavery into debt. Okay, because they're talking about damn near a third of the freaking nation being evicted by the end of the year. So you can, Most High cancel Christmas on your ass, man. Okay, that's my boy Tommy be saying in power. I'm gonna come cancel Christmas on your ass. Most High cancel Christmas, and look like he canceled Thanksgiving too. So good. I'm happy. All right. And it says, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. It says, for as like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is made manifest. Look at it. We're looking at the end. You got blood red skies over there in the western coast. Scary, man. Ain't no telling what type of demons is out there. And it says, even so, the times of the Most High have the highest with plain beginnings and wonderful and powerful works, endings and effects and signs. Okay, that's nothing more than a sign right there, man. All right, and Yahweh Shai said it. Matter of fact, this is Luke 12:49. Yahweh Shai, these are the words of the Lord, who you call Christ, which his name is Yahweh Shai. He says, I am come to send fire on the earth. What will I if it already be kindled? Okay, so by the time the Lord comes to this place, it's going to be pretty much obliterated, man. It's going to be mass death, mass judgment. All right, it's going to be the purge out here. And the purge is pretty much happening right now, because you had that movie that came out in, I believe it's in 2014, called The Purge Election Year, if I'm not mistaken. You had a woman and a man that went up for president. It was similar to the election of 2016 with President Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. If that movie ain't pretty much break it down to you what was happening or what was going to happen, then you just a lost soul, man. All right. So this is the book of Matthew 16:1. It says, the Pharisee also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and said it to them, when it is evening, you say there will be fair weather, for the sky is red. Okay, the sky is out there red. Is red in Oregon right now. And in the morning, it will be foul weather. Today, for the sky is red and lowering. Oh, ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. And basically, the Lord is telling you, when you see those things that become a norm, that's how you know that the end is here. He basically told them what to look for. All right. It says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. All right. And he represents the prophets, man. We are the sign, the prophets. You see us out there. America's going to be destroyed. People starting guessing, oh, wow, what them Hebrew Israelites are saying is actually happening. This is actually coming to pass. What do we do now? Easy. Come seek the truth, repent in the name of Yahweh Shai, and live your life, man. And hopefully the Lord have mercy on you. If not, you're just going to be another casualty out here, because Yahweh Shai just broke it down. He just told us what to look for. Bingo, right there. That's part of the signs there. For those of you Jakes out there that don't want to get with the program, man. Because like he tell you, it says it's going to be with fearful signs, or roughly paraphrasing it. But anyway, this is the book of Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verses, let's start at verses 25. It says, behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they should say unto you, behold, he is in a desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber, believe it not. Before his lightning coming out of the east and shining upon. So basically breaking that down, don't be believing these pastors and they say, oh, well, Christ is already here. No, he's not, man. He's here in the spirit of his men, but physically he ain't touched down yet. He's still in the spirit world, but he's coming. And it says, for his lightning coming out of the east and shining even into the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So if you got a spirit and a mind to receive that, you already know how the Lord is going to come back. Okay, in those chariots. And it says here, for whatsoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. But immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give out light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven should be shaken. These elites are terrified right now through this. And there should appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right. And it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. But now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth his leaf, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye should see these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Okay? So there you go, man. He told us what to look for. Scriptures say that the Son of Man is going to show fearful signs in the heavens. Read that in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, Acts, the 2nd chapter. It breaks it down. All right. This is the book of Luke 21 and 28. And it says here, matter of fact, let's start here. 25, it says, and there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts fell in them for fear for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, because the judgments are just going to intensify. It says, for the powers of heaven should be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. All right. So brothers, man, our redemption is right around the corner, man. All right. We just got to hold on a little tight. Don't waver. Don't get weak. Keep pushing, because, hey, you're getting ready to see a lot of miraculous things that's getting ready to transpire. If you have an eye to believe it and an ear to believe and an eye salve to see it. Don't get complacent out here, man, because it's easy to get weighed down by everything that goes on with your life. All right. So this is Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire. All right. Going into the chariots and those missiles. But ultimately, man, these different plagues is going to hit the earth. Like that wildfire, that's a particular plague, man. All right. And it says, and for by fire and by his sword would the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh should be many. All right, brothers. So, hey, the slain of the Lord is going to be detriment out here, man. These jigs don't know what the hell is getting ready to come to them, man, because they too busy partying and playing games out here. But anyway, I want to show y'all a few more pictures before I shut it down. I've made the point. But I did a Google search on red sky in Oregon, and look at these apocalyptic. Oh, man, look at that. That's beautiful, man. I hope it be like that in Missouri, man. Kansas City, man. I hope to see a sky red like that, man. Be clowning that day. That looks like death, man. That looks like straight freaking death. That's scary, man. Just imagine if a demon come up to you and fly off with your ass, man. Or take you behind some abandoned basement and gouge your eyeballs out, man. And just do something totally horrific to you. They saying huge loss of life expect as fire destroy 5 towns in Oregon. So they're expecting for a lot of death out here. But see what Esau ain't going to do? He ain't going to cover that. Because he like to make it seem like he got all this stuff on lock, when in fact he don't. That's scary, man. Look at that. Oh, man, that's beautiful, bro. Next, watch them waters turn red. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Ball.